And there's Davey. Davey, you love the LaFleur, don't you? He loves the LaFleur. Let's get this. This little countdown. I'm going to give the LaFleur when it gets to 2 minutes. I'm giving some more time. Oh, there it is. There comes the YouTube promo. Here it comes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Never gets old. Getting it all set up. Brad Holmes is an absolute Jedi.
That 8th loss came at Buffalo.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Main Event Football Show. My name's Mike. I'm your host. It's Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is time for the Main Event Football Show. I am your host, Main Event Mike. Hey, can you see me around this really big trophy I won in fantasy football? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. We are broadcasting live into Facebook, Lions Villain Squad. If you're not following us already, what's wrong with you? Get over there and follow us. Also, broadcasting live into Detroit Lions News Podcast. Our friends over there allow us. They give us the privilege to broadcast into their network. Not of the cap to Joe Chap and the boys there. Also, broadcasting live into YouTube at Villain Squad. It's very simple. Also at JC Sports on YouTube, you can find us. And we are broadcasting live today also into the Huddle Sports Network on Roku TV. Main Event Mike here with you. The last Main Event Football Show before we have real meaningful football coming. So it's a celebration. It's a celebration of the offseason. It's a celebration of fantasy football today. And it is a celebration of the incredible people we have as stewards of this team. And that would be Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell with a press conference today. Brad Holmes with one the day before. And they were both stellar, and they were both honest, and they were both very encouraging. we're going to start with that Dan Campbell one. But first, for that, I want to say hello to some of the people that are here with us. What's up, Davey, One Pride, Big M in the house, Go Lions, our good friend Chad. Hey, Chad, greetings. Jason MC in the crowd. Are we freaking ready for some football? Even Vikings fans are excited. That's how exciting it is that even Vikings fans are excited to see Sam Darnold. Steve back now. Nice to see you, Detroit Fan Man. What up, Steve? Hey, peeps, to Detroit Fan Man. And, of course, Elise Memes, the queen of memes in the house, too. Great to see you all. Yeah, so this is this big, giant trophy that I won in my money league. I've learned that you can't have too many leagues if you want to be successful because I just don't have enough time. So I focus all my energy into one league. And when I did that, I didn't spread myself thin. I won the damn trophy first time in 20 years. It's the 20th year of this league. And I finally won it like the Stanley Cup. I never touched it until I could win it. So now I got to show it to all the villains and all my friends here on the internet. So we're going to talk about fantasy football today. I'm really into it. If I know most of you, if you play, you probably had your draft last weekend or it's coming up this week. So if there's anything you want to talk about at the end of the program, we're going to talk about fantasy at the end of the program. So put it in the comments. I want to know what's your fantasy team name. I went with my ball, Zach Ertz. So put your fantasy name in the comments and tell me who you took. And that'll be at the end of the program. We'll talk about that. Right now, I want to talk about Dan Campbell's press conference that happened today. He was asked about DJ Reader. Are we going to be in trouble if we have to go to the game without DJ Reader? And he just really jumped right on behind his guys, Josh Pascal, jumped right on behind his guy, Levi Onwuzurike. And he said some really great things about both of those players that makes you think that they're going to be all right if DJ Reader does miss week 1 or week 2. We talked about on the morning show this morning with my compadre, Mr. Russell Wayne, who does the Lions Villain Report every morning at 10 a.m. He's behind the glass today. We're going to bring him out a little bit. But DJ Reader's had no snaps in the preseason. And he's coming off of 2 quad injuries, back-to-back quad injuries. So there are some concerns there. And it has been the MO of this regime to not rush players back, to believe in the depth that they've got. And so I do not think that DJ Reader's going to play, but they have not said one way or the other. But the main event, Mike, predictor says, I don't think he's going to play because it's not like Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn to put players on the field until they've had meaningful practice first. I don't care who you are and how good. So I really don't see it. But there's a lot of people out there disagree with me. Put it in the comments. Tell me if you disagree. Time to bring on my good friend now and my partner in crime, and it is one and only Mr. Russell Wayne. What's up, Russell?
What's going on, man?
Hey, so do you think DJ Reader, what's your take there?
I think that there's some truth to what you were just saying right there because he hasn't taken any snaps. I don't think they are really rushing to get in. But like I said this morning, the way that Terrell Williams plays the defensive tackle position, I think there's a lot more just archaic, straightforward kind of defensive tackle play where their jobs are a lot more simple to occupy the space to protect the run. And I don't think that he needs a ton of practice with our guys to just be the disruptor that he is. Our defenses seem to put the guys in the best position, where they're at with their skill set. We try to use what they can do the best to our advantage. And what DJ Reader does the best is get double teams, take on 2 blockers at the same time, and open up windows for other pass rushers. So I don't think that he'd have any trouble jumping right in and being a dom if he's healthy. And they're not going to rush him out there.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a great take, Russ. I like it. But he said that Levi Onwuzurike, there doesn't seem to be any effects from the injury. He looks as good as ever, better than ever. And he says he thinks he's here to stay. That's pretty encouraging stuff, right?
Absolutely.
He's a second round draft. He's a second round draft pick, and right next to Lee McNeil, like we talked about on the morning show this morning. This is how they were drafted: second round, third round. Brad Holmes had a vision for how he wanted this D line to look, and these two players were part of that. And we might see that if DJ Reader doesn't play. Who do you think is going to start? Is what I'm asking.
Oh my God, that's a good question. I mean, I think that from what Dan Campbell was saying, it did seem like Levi Onwuzurike was the next man up on that list. And then he mentioned Josh Paschal, but then he did mention practice squad, which kind of alluded to one of the comments I made earlier, that Kyle Pecco he's a guy that may be the least talented out of all those guys, but Terrell Williams brought him over from Tennessee. So he knows exactly how Terrell Williams wants to play the defensive line. So there's that possibility too. So maybe all of it will happen, but I think Levi will get the start if there's no DJ Reader.
Okay. I think it's going to be Paschal based on how many snaps, because Paschal's taken more snaps than Levi. And you might see a rotation there with those guys, right? Levi and Paschal rotating in between Aleem and Davenport.
I mean, that's a good possibility. I mean, I think Paschal's more of a defensive end first, and then he can transition into pass rushing from the interior. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to roll out with their starting lineup. Also
a Brad Holmes second round draft pick, Josh Paschal, and coming out of college, they said that he was versatile, could play all along the defensive line.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he can set the edge against the run too. That was the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
You had Aiden Hutchinson coming out of the first round was the pass rushing specialist dude, and Paschal was a run setting guy that offered interior pass rushing moves. I don't think that he's going to get to the quarterback too much from the end position, but he can set the edge pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be interesting also, folks, to see Brian Branch play safety and really get to work like that star that he played for Nick Saban at Alabama, where he can read and react to what's happening at the line of scrimmage and put himself in the right position to make a play on the ball. And that is going to be exciting with Kirby, one of the best deep ball safeties in the league. His particular skill set happens to be deep coverage, over the top stuff. So that's also going to allow Brian Branch to patrol more of the middle of the field. If this defense can be top 10, we are going to be super duper dangerous. Let's see what we got in the comments here. Big M says, we will be okay without DJ Reader, but we will be dominant when he does play. DJ unlocks the D, especially the D line. Couldn't agree more, Big M. I think Jack Campbell, who had 97 tackles last year, we might be looking at 130 tackles, 140 tackles, gulp, for Jack Campbell, because like Russ said, what DJ Reader does best is he manipulates the gap, right? He's going to free up guys like Derek Barnes, guys like Jack Campbell to make a play, to be able to run downhill, especially when you got, like we just said, that strong support coming from the backside. So it's all going to be about these corners, just like it was last year. Everything else is lined right up. Comes right down to the same thing it did last year. And Brad Holmes brought in a whole new room of corners. So last year in the playoff game against the Rams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, they abused our corners specifically. We were able to get the victory. Yeah, but it was a 1-point victory. And those receivers had big fantasy days. Okay. They had big stats, both of them. Matthew Stafford, big stats in a losing effort. Jack Fox should have got more credit for that game, actually. But anyway, Brad Holmes has revamped the secondary, and that is going to be how this defense goes based on how that works out. So talking about Brad Holmes, he had a press conference also a couple of days ago, and it was with assistant general manager Ray Agnew. And if you have not seen it, I strongly recommend that you go watch it. As always, Brad Holmes is engaging, enthralling when you watch him being interviewed. And he's so cool and so calm. He was asked by Dave Burkett, he was asked a question. What is the expectation for your team this year? And he unequivocally did not hesitate. Said, "Oh, this year, win the Super Bowl," unquote. He did not hesitate. That is the expectation. And folks, I know it may sound rudimentary, it may sound mundane, that, yeah, of course, everyone's goal is to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, everyone's goal is to win the Super Bowl, but it's not everyone's expectation. And I think that's a very important discernment there that we need to pay attention to. Brad Holmes is expecting his team to win the Super Bowl. Do you think the Cleveland Browns general manager is, the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, are their GMs? Is that the expectation? No, it's every team's goal. Every general managers, folks, do not go out on a limb and say these things, because it could come back and bite them and cost them their job and make them look bad in the court of public opinion. Okay. If you were to ask Rand Carthon, what are your expectations for the Commanders this year or for the Titans this year? Would Rand Carthon say, we expect to win the Super Bowl? I don't think so. Titans got a decent team. They got a revamped defense because they want to win now, but is the expectation to win the Super Bowl? I don't think so. We are an elite company to have that mindset by our general manager. And as a Lions fan, to some other team that might be nothing, but as a Lions fan, that should be big for you, because this is uncharted territory for us. If we win 10 games this year, that will be the first time in franchise history that we've ever had that many games won in a 2-year span. So I think it was very profound what Brad Holmes said, that he expects the team to win the Super Bowl this year. What do you got? Any thoughts on that, Russ?
I do, man. One of the thoughts that came in was, he's been building this team since 2021. He came in with a bunch of undrafted free agents and, really filled out that team. And every year when they ask him this expectation questions, he's always talking about holes. He's always talking about different things that he's got to do to fill those holes. We still got work to do. We got to do this. I think what he's saying with that statement, saying that we expect to win the Super Bowl, it's not that his job is done, but his job is done for this year. He's done what he could do for this year, and this is the roster that he has drafted, that he is putting out there as the roster that can win the Super Bowl this year. Now, there's going to be more work next year, but he's done his job this year. We expect to win the Super Bowl. End of discussion, right?
Right. The window is open, no doubt. And we all knew that. We talk about it every day. We know that. But to have Brad Holmes unequivocally, like without any hesitation, just spit that out to me, it slapped me across the face, and it woke me. That might have smacked all the PTSOL out of me, the post-traumatic same old Lions. This Jake Bates thing's got me worried. No. It's a new day. It's a new Lions, folks. Don't hang on to that. Detroit Darcy in the house. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I think Aaron Glenn has to play 65% zone for the continuity of our corners. Damn if you do, Stafford picks apart a zone. Great take. Trust me, he's going to play press man. He's always wanted to play press man. He's always wanted to. That's the Aaron Glenn way to play press man. He's old school corner, me against you. My guy's better than you. Like he said at that one press conference, I was always taught that big guys beat up little guys. So, I mean, and it's as simple as that for him. He's going to play press man, Darcy, and take his chances. That's what I think. And when you have a guy like Brian Branch roaming free back there, and if he's going to come back, and to have that guy in on a rotation as well, this team's going to be doing damage. If this defense plays up, if those corners can hold up, play in this coverage. By the way, they drafted and acquired free agents that's their specialty, is press man coverage. So your take that he's going to have to play 65% zone, I respect your take, but I can't agree with that one. Chad's in the house. He says, I love the idea of Branch Island. Oh, there's a meme in there. Branch Island. Sending it out. We're putting the Elise meme signal in the sky. Branch Island. Love it. Jason MC says one day Goff will have to pass the torch. Are there any projections to see Hooker with any playing time? Let's hope not. We have a guy we're just given $50 million to. Let's hope that Jared Goff keeps Hendon Hooker right there on the sideline, Jason. Big M says, I'm so pumped for the season. Can't wait. Let's go. I know. I wish it was Sunday right now. I love this take by Ken Fisher. The keys to our success this year is to stay healthy. Now, any NFL team could say that, I'm sure. No significant injuries are vital, especially to our QB. And again, right there, you could say that about any NFL team. Hooker is nowhere near ready. Now's where it starts to get real because you've got a point. He looked good. Like there's a lot of upside there. He's going to do great. If you bash Hendon Hooker for too long, people will pop in on the screen on you, and there will be people who will just jump on you because they don't want to hear that. But Hendon Hooker is not ready. I agree with you, Ken. There's a lot of promise there. I'm glad they're going into the season with him as number 2. I really am. And then he says, right now, Fromm is the better passer with pocket presence. Yeah, but that was 8 attempts. It was 6 for 8. We saw 8 pass attempts from him. We saw a lot more of Hendon Hooker than Fromm, so I'm not ready to go that far yet. But, man, what a great comment. Jason says the Vikings always try their best to make a Super Bowl run every damn year. Skull, and which Skull stands for still keeps on losing. And then Anthony's in the house as a 13-4 season. I'll take it, Anthony. He's going to take at least 11 to win this division, don't you think? The Packers aren't no joke. And I believe the Vikings are going to be better than people think. And I think Caleb Williams is the real deal. It's going to be a dogfight year. Russ, what do you got?
I just wanted to put one comment in on the Hendon Hooker backup. The thing is you're right, Ken Fisher. He is not ready to go out there. And if anything happens to Goff in the first couple weeks, I'm gonna feel like you feel. But I think what they took a bet on is I think by week 6, 7, 8. He's going to be with that second team. He's going to be getting put into the offense. And I think that he's going to be more ready to take that step if he's needed to, week 8, week 9. So I think that that's what they're saying. I think Goff's going to be okay for the first 5 weeks, but you need a good, solid backup. He proved that he can run the offense, at least from a playmaking standpoint. If you need a guy to give you a couple first downs, Goff ain't feeling right, you might feel okay about putting, Hooker in there for a series or 2. But I don't want him taking no games. I want to win the Super Bowl this year, so I want Goff upright the entire year. Learn, Hendon Hooker.
Mm-hmm. Corey's in the house. What's up, Corey? Do we really know what Fromm can do, or are we going by when he came in and played 3rd and 4th stringers? There's a reason he wasn't on a team. Mm-hmm. Right, but here's what we do know, Corey. He's better than Nate Sudfeld. That much we already know. Even against 3rd and 4th stringers, he was better. We'll take it. He's at the practice squad now. Yeah, it was 3rd and 4th stringers, but Dan Campbell did say about Jake Fromm, there's something about this kid. So said the same thing about Jake Bates, but they liked him. He came in and he was accurate, and he's got a big arm, and he knows how to win. He come from a winning tradition, winning program. He's got that pedigree. So all he needs is a champ. They saw enough out of him to send Nate Sudfeld packing, and that's good enough for me. And I think that's definitely noteworthy.
And there he is. Look at that. He's on the practice squad. He's going to get to learn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you get the best of both worlds, buddy.
Right. And let's hope we don't have to see him in a Lions uniform this year, because that means everything is good. That means Goff is doing well. Because Lord knows we need Goff to do well. Because to Ken's point, this is a Super Bowl contending team. Our general manager just came out and said it. He expects to win the Super Bowl. And you don't go into that kind of window with a Hendon Hooker as a second quarterback if you're trying to cover all your bases. That's a gamble. That's a gamble that you're doing there.
And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
And that's the Dan Gamble way, baby. So we are just only 5 days away now. 6 days away. 6 days away.
There's Dan Gamble.
Yeah. On 4th down. Love it. Tommy's in the house, says, hey, nice trophy. I say 12-5.
That's a tremendous good trophy.
It's my precious. So we are going to talk about fantasy football and said trophy later. But right now we're talking about this first game of the 2024 NFL season for the Detroit Lions, which happens, of course, as everybody knows, unless you've been living under a rock, will be on Sunday Night Football, 8 o'clock, prime time, NBC and Peacock. Also on our YouTube channel, The Villain Cast, Russ and I will be watching the game, and we will be telling jokes and spending some time with you if you want to watch the game with us. We're going to do that on Sunday night for the first game of the year. Matt Stafford coming home. Like, do these NFL scheduler makers, I mean, they just love this shit, right? It's the Lions' turn to play the NFC West anyway. So, let's put the Rams right back in Ford Field where their season ended. Yeah. That's crazy to me. There's a lot of revenge games. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers go into Denver. Russell Wilson. There's a lot of revenge games. Saquon Barkley gets to play the Giants twice. I mean, there's so many storylines. You know the NFL loves storylines. There are so many this year. What's your favorite NFL storyline? For me, I think it's definitely the Matt Stafford. This is hell. His family's been through so much since that playoff game. I mean, this stuff with his wife coming out and saying these crazy things on a podcast, and the accusations that the Detroit fans booed their children. Let's let that simmer down, right? Let's not just bring it back in the first game.
Boo them kids.
Boo them kids. Throw them back in it. Don't bring the kids this time, Kelly. Okay? Leave them at home. And I'll tell you what. It's going to be so much drama. It's going to be the most anticipated opening day in Detroit Lions history. You're watching the Main Event Football Show. I'm Main Event Mike, along with the maestro Russell Wayne. Follow us on Facebook at Lions Villain Squad, and go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Villain Squad and at JC Sports on YouTube. We got Smoking Jeremy B in the house. This is good evening, gents. Darcy says, looking forward to the Thursday night prediction show. Oh, are you doing a Thursday night prediction show? We're doing them on Thursday morning. So there's that. We're going to be doing them on the Villain Report, which is, thanks for reminding me, Darcy. That's the Villain Report with Russell Wayne every single weekday morning, plus Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on the Villain Squad Network. Check it out.
Right. And what else you doing, Mike? On Mondays, when you came on this morning, we just kind of got to talk. But when you come on next Monday morning, you're going to be talking about all the Sunday's games on the morning show with me.
Yeah.
And and that's going to be cool. So you're going to be with me, Mondays and Thursdays now.
Right. Thursdays we'll do the predictions, and then Monday we'll recap how we did on the predictions. And in case you guys don't know, Russ, sometimes when his little name tag comes up, it says the Swami. That is because Russell is in now 3 years running has an incredible percentage of picking a lock pick once a week. And if you would have bet with Russell Wayne on every lock pick $100 every season, you'd be up about $2,500 right now, because Russ last year, I believe, went 13-5 on his lock pick predictions. And that, in case you don't know, is incredible. The best handicappers, best prognosticators in the world can only do about 55%. And they make a living in Vegas at that margin. And Russ smoked that the last 3 years. And if you don't believe me, you can always go over to our YouTube channel and check it out, because it's all archived. So every Monday morning on the Villain Report, we'll be recapping Thursday morning's predictions. Follow along with us to see how we do. We'd love to see you there. J-Mommy in the house. I still find it interesting that the Ravens and Chiefs are the first game. They may be the two best teams in their conference. Yeah, that's such a great call out. What a great game that's going to be. And it only heightens. I mean, what an incredible job that the Kansas City Chiefs did last year to go into Buffalo and win in the winter, right? And then go into Baltimore and win in the winter against Lamar Jackson and the MVP and 13-win team. Just incredible, really. And to go and win back-to-back Super Bowls. They are going to be gunning for that three-peat. ESPN did a simulation. It came out this morning. They let their AI do a simulation of the season, and it came out to the Chiefs and Lions in the Super Bowl with the Lions on top. Now, I realize that doesn't mean a doggone thing, but it just reinforces what we're talking about on this show, since it is the last show before we have real football to talk about next week. Jeremy says, if Stafford can't play, Kelly would be left at home, so Studson Bennett can become a BU QB number 2 on her hit list. A backup quarterback number 2. Oh, my gosh.
He gets into the National Enquirer version of some of these stories.
I like this call out by Jason. Thanks for making it, Jason. My main concern is how fit and match ready are our starters. No preseason games. This is something we talked about this morning as well. Hope these guys are super fit and ready to go, or else they will get injuries easy. Matt Stafford is old news. He's gone. Let it go. Right on. Good call out. But to your point, when these guys are practicing, they're going up against Penei Sewell. They're going up against Aiden Hutchinson. Okay, they're going up against these really good players. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got to cover him in practice. Okay, you are ready. These guys are pros. They're ready, and the coaches know exactly what they're doing because they were all players. Most of our coaching staffs are all players. They know when the team's ready, and they know whether or not they need to be out there in the preseason. And also, I think there's something to be said about keeping your stuff under wraps, what certain packages are going to look like, certain formations that you're going to be rolling out. We know that Ben Johnson's an evil genius back there, just getting as creative as hell. I can't wait to see what Ben Johnson has up his sleeve. I think we need a magician meme with Ben Johnson pulling something out of his sleeve. I don't know. Russ, what do you got on that?
I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's like, I mean, the Rams, they're missing 3/4 of their offensive line. It's like, you want to play these guys in preseason and think that the reps, I mean, these guys are going at it. They had Dan Campbell said they had a full ones versus ones game that was about as full contact and as physical as any of the preseason games that were out there. As a matter of fact, it was like where Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson were almost at, odds with each other because they were just ripping on each other. So I believe in the iron sharpens iron type of deal. And after working with all those guys, they might hit these guys in the regular season and go, oh my God, you guys ain't nothing like the guys that I've been facing in practice. And they might just start tearing some people up now. So I don't know. I think it's overstated. There's a lot of teams that's not playing their starters in preseason now for the exact same reason. I mean, this is millions of dollars they're investing into these players. And I mean, to see them go down and be lost, revenue wise for the whole season. I mean, done in a preseason game where it doesn't mean anything, that would sting.
And Dan Campbell is on record saying he prefers joint practices over preseason games. And we know that preseason games are going away because this is what Roger Goodell wants to do to get an 18th game added to the schedule. We do know that. Jason MC, he's a Vikings fan, says the Vikings ship sails out of MetLife Stadium with 2 defensive scores in the win next Sunday. I agree with you, Jason. I think the Vikings are going to beat the Giants on the road opening week. And I think the Vikings are fortunate to get a soft opponent like the Giants in week 1. When you figure the Packers are getting the Eagles, the Bears get a tough Titans defense. And the Lions get a playoff team in the Rams. So it is not beyond comprehension that at the end of next week, the Vikings could be leading the NFC North at 1-0. That is certainly within the realm of possibility. But most teams go as their quarterback goes. And if Sam Darnold can get it done for you, then I definitely think you guys are going to be better than people think, because you've got the best wide receiver in the league. And you've got probably one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. So I think you've got a puncher's chance, no doubt about it. Big M says trophies and belts. The fellas are bringing out the hardware tonight. That's right, man. It took me 20 years. It took me 20 years to win this trophy. I'm going to parade it all around town. I love it.
Oh my God.
Broski Bear's in the house today. This is a lame duck version of the Rams. Oh, excuses already.
Man.
Are you kidding me? You still got Sean McVay over there, okay? Anything's possible. Matt Stafford, we know this guy can sling it, Broski. We know it, okay? We know it firsthand that you don't bet against this guy, okay? Because he's either going to throw a pick six or he's going to throw a pick six that someone drops and then he's going to go to the Super Bowl. So it's one or the other.
They'd beat a team. They beat a Bears team with a rookie quarterback. That's for sure.
The Rams would.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you tell. I wonder if Stafford will call out Kirby Joseph for dirty hits. Oh, remember that video where he was mic'd up and you could hear him? Oh, you dirty AF. You dirty AF. We know. Everybody knows it. We watch it on the field. It was like, oh, that was harsh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. These two teams don't like each other. They'll always be the
Did
trade.
you see that hit? Come on. I mean, there is a couple of his hits where you got to go, gosh, man, he went shoulder first, right at the guy's knee. I mean, I know that they all say, okay, we're just playing the game. It's all fast. How are you going to take down the big guy and all that? But he put his shoulder right on TJ Hawkinson's knee. I mean, dirty AF. I mean,
it's a legal tackle. It was a legal tackle. Hold on. TJ Hawkinson on line 1. All right.
Just saying. I just don't want Skull Nation to go out there and be like, oh, no, yeah, I think you should just be able to just do a elbow right on that knee. Make sure you snap it in half every time, you know? Like, no, that looked questionable even to a Lion fan. Just wanted you to know that.
Right. Jay Mommy says the Lions didn't play the starters last year in the preseason, and then they beat the Chiefs on the road in the first game. But, Jay Mommy, Jared Goff demanded to play a series, and he did.
Yeah, didn't a running back take a hit in that? And then we all went, oh, my God, why did you play?
Yeah. Looks like we have a great field goal kicker in Michigan, and I predict he kicks the game winner this coming week against Texas, Ken Fisher. Well, you know, Texas, that's going to be tough for the Wolverines. Texas is a team that can put up points. Okay, so it's going to be a much bigger test than Fresno was in that vanilla win. But this ain't a U of M show. If it was, Russ wouldn't produce it. You're watching the Main Event Football Show. Be sure to like or hit a heart. Please like our content. If you like football, if you like talking about football, put it in the comment. Bring up something. We'll talk about it. But 3.5 point favorite. That's where we went. That's where we were going before this tangent started. The Detroit Lions are favored by 3.5. And this is where I went off on the tangent about the storylines and the schedule makers. But with a 1-point victory last year, and according to Broski, it's a lame duck version of the Rams. So tell me, Broski, if it's a lame duck version of the Rams, should I definitely take the over? This is like that guy with the 2 buttons. What's it going to be? Are we that much better than the Rams? Should I take the over if it's a lame duck version? I definitely think the Lions cover the 3.5 points. I didn't at the beginning of the week, but after talking to Russell Wayne, he made me look at a few other factors. And I definitely think we are. When you look at the offensive line of the Rams, which is what everyone's alluding to here, I don't think that that's something they're going to be able to overcome in week 1. It's not something an NFL team can't overcome. The Lions have had to overcome it. Patchwork offensive line, and it usually takes a few games for it to start clicking when the guys get used to working to each other and learning the alignments in the plays. So I think that's going to work too much momentum for this Lions team, which really is only missing Ife Melifonwu, John Kaminsky. None of the major core grit guys are there. They're all there. Nobody's missing. Levi Onwuzurike is more healthier than he's ever been since the day we drafted him. Things are looking good for the Lions going into this season. Not so much for the Rams. There's a little question mark there. And for that reason alone, I think we're more focused and we're more ready to play. And that goes back to the comment we had about not having preseason reps. I still think this team is dialed in. You could see it in the preseason, even all the players there in their street clothes. There wasn't guys up in the press box. They were all right down there. This team is focused. They know exactly what they got to do. Broski says the over-under is 50.5. I predict a 34-10 final score with the Lions smoking the Rams by 24, Broski picks. Their offensive line's a patchwork right now. Right, exactly. With Jonah Jackson now going to move to center for the game. That's huge, right? The exchange between the center and the quarterback is so crucial. I mean, that could be hard, especially when you're talking about the best crowd in the NFL who just caused a false start in a preseason game. Okay? That's what a new center and quarterback are going to have to contend with. So I definitely like the Lions to cover by 3.5. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Lions win by a field goal in overtime. So a Bears fan picks us to win and a Vikings fan picks us to win. Look out. I see the Rams throwing the ball quickly because of the pass rush by the Lions and the offensive line of the Rams. Hopefully we can put a stop to the quick flips, especially over the middle. They got a couple of dangerous wide receivers. Such a good call out, Ken. Just before we went on air today, I was watching the 2022 NFC Championship game against the 49ers. And that is exactly what they did. It's exactly how they came back from being down 17 in that game to go to the Super Bowl. Was his quick release, baseball throw, bam, right out to the flat, right out to the slot, before the defense can even react to it. And they marched right down the field, drive after drive after drive, burning Emmanuel Mosley time after time. I watched it. I just got done watching it. And like I said, Stafford throws a pick six, but the guy drops it. How would we be talking about the Jared Goff, Matt Stafford trade if that guy hadn't have dropped that? And they don't go to the Super Bowl and they don't win a Super Bowl. Then you'd say the Lions win that trade hands down. I know a lot of you out there think that we won the trade already, but it's ludicrous. They got one of these, folks. They got this. They got this to put right there. Parade that all around town. Yeah, until you get that, that's what the players want. Okay, they want that Super Bowl trophy. So miss me with that. We won the trade. No, we didn't. The Rams got a Super Bowl. Now that 49ers DB hadn't dropped that pass, we'd have won that trade hands down. We've changed our entire franchise's trajectory for God knows how long. Could be 3-4 years. Could be forever. Could be 50 years. It could be the beginning of a winning tradition that our grandchildren only know winning, like the Packers fans or the Patriots fans of a certain age. They only know winning. So, yeah, it's a big deal winning that trophy. That is what separates. There's only one villain at the end of the year. And right now that's Patrick Mahomes. And that's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the villain this year because everybody's gunning for them now. They stole the prize and ran home with it. And the Detroit Lions window to do that, it's really hard. Everybody knows it's really hard to do. And the window doesn't come around all the time. Dan Campbell saying last year at the end of the year, this might have been our only chance. And some people thought that was ridiculous. But as a former player, he knows. He had a Giants team that he was on that was going to go to a Super Bowl, but they lost in the playoffs. And then the next year, they came back 7-9, same exact team. So he's lived it. He knows that it's fragile. And as good as our team looks on paper, it's fragile. This is the NFL. Any given Sunday, blah, blah. One injury away. All of that can happen. The moon could be in a certain phase for the Detroit Lions. Waxing gibbous. Moon phase. The Detroit Lions have never won in the waxing gibbous moon phase in 28 years. That's a fact. I had to do the research and figure that out, and it is true. Well, what's the waxing gibbous moon phase? Well, That is when the moon is almost full. It's 3/4 of the way lit. And there's still that small crescent of black on it. That's the waxing gibbous moon. It happens once every month. It's the last moon before the full moon. And during that moon phase, in 28 years, the Lions have not won. It means nothing. It means nothing, right? I'm more concerned about the third quarter right now. Yeah. You're talking about moon phases, Mike. What's wrong with you? We're going to talk about fantasy football now. Nobody put their fantasy football stuff in there. So I guess we won't talk about fantasy football. I called for it. Nobody wants to talk about fantasy. So I guess we won't. Appreciate everyone being here. This has been the Main Event Football Show. I have been Main Event Mike.
The whole time?
The whole time. Well, there was moments where I drifted in and out. Yes. Mike with the moon phases. That's right. I'm deep.
That was way deep, dude. I was learning something. I felt like it was like one of those like documentaries on like the Space Channel.
Waxing gibbous.
Are you a Star Trekkie? Or are you a Star Wars guy?
Listen, I've seen every Star Wars and I've seen every Star Trek, but I'm not a Trekkie or a Star Wars nerd. So,
oh,
I mean, I like them.
Weird middle guys.
I like them, but I never like had a Millennium Falcon toy or anything. You know, I was never into it like that.
Oh, you can borrow mine.
Oh, Jeremy says he got Amon-Ra St. Brown at 6th last night. So that would have been the 6th overall pick. I ended up, after I won the trophy, we did our draft because I got the trophy for last year. And I did the draft and I got the first pick. And I did not want the first pick because I'd done so many mock drafts leading up to it. I could never get another good top-notch player to go with Christian McCaffrey or Bijan Robinson, wherever you take, because in a snake draft, you have to wait 20 picks to get another pick. So I came back after, of course, I took Christian McCaffrey with that pick. And coming back, I went Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce back to back. Because at least, and I broke a rule, something you're not supposed to do. You don't reach to get a stack, which is what I did. I took a quarterback in the second round, which is way too high. So, bit of advice. If you've got somebody who's doing a draft over the phone, don't be the guy who's got to help them, because all it does is distract you from making good decisions. Hooker and Ben Johnson going to make a lot of drama this year. So glad Hooker is back up. It's a good call, Bill. And Jeremy was one of those. I got the Millennium Falcon when I was 10 for my birthday. I bet you did, Jeremy. And I bet you wouldn't let no one play with it.
How rude.
Look, I got the Death Star. So what? I got the Millennium Falcon. Ken says, I got 3 Lions on my fantasy team. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Laporta. Ken, I mean, I need to get in your league, bro. How does anybody let that happen to you? You're going to dominate with that lineup. You don't want too many, though, right? You don't want too many of the same team players on your team, do you?
I got Laporta and Amon-Ra on my team.
Did you?
Yeah. So.
My receivers were Cooper Kupp and T. Higgins. I mean, it was thin. It was slim pickings, man. That's why I didn't want the first pick. Everybody that I made my list of the guys that I knew that I was targeting that I wanted, I didn't get a single one of them. And then the guys on my list that stay away from these players, I end up with a couple of those guys. So did not go well. I don't expect to have this trophy next year. But then again, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes, that could be 2 or 3 weeks of winning right there. And in this league, you only need to win 3 weeks. How early is too early to draft J-Mo? Anything before the 9th round. That's where he keeps going in the 9th. But I really think he's going to explode this year, man. I really wanted him. I should have took him in like the 7th. I should have went too early. I know they say it's too early, but I think 9th is what they say, fan man, but I'm going to say 7th because if I had it to do over again, I would definitely rather have Jameson Williams than some of the guys I've got. The guy that had the first pick went with his own quarterback for auto pick. Oh, took 4 top QBs consecutively. Oh, gosh. Chad says, the gibbous is great for Bigfoot research. Well, there you go, Chad. I should get a commission on your next documentary. I'm going to say goodbye now, folks. Appreciate everyone being there with us. Appreciate everyone being here with us. For all of us at the Villain Squad, for Russell Wayne, I'm Main Event Mike, saying God bless each and every one of you. Peace out.
Hey yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning is crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your